Hey everyone, Nicola here from City Physio. So today I thought I would show you how to use a trigger point ball to release through your hip and glutes. Now, these muscles can become quite tight if you sit at a desk for a prolonged period of time, and also they can contribute a lot to back pain. So knowing how to release these muscles accurately and sort of really well can really help to unlock the front of the hip, your low back, and relieve any pain you've got sort of in this whole sort of low back glute area. Now, different kinds of trigger point balls floating around. You've got sort of your round, this is a little cross ball, so really bouncy, compressed rubber ball. And then you've got your spiky ball here. Doesn't actually matter what you use. You can just use a tennis ball if you've got one floating around. That can be really helpful. If you're finding that the tennis ball or your spiky ball is a bit too firm, the cheaper the tennis ball, so your dollar store tennis ball, can be a little bit softer, give you a bit of squish, a little bit more sort of dispersed force area, a little bit less painful. I have also used a dog toy, sort of this sort of shape, wasn't as knobbly, doesn't actually have to be a specific sort of trigger point ball. Now we're going to release in through the glute and the piriformis muscles first. I'm going to use this ball here because it's a little bit easier to see as I release. But basically your glute muscles and your piriformis muscles are amazing muscles to release for low back pain. So sitting on the floor in what I'm going to call a bit of a crab position, so hands behind you, feet in front. You want to lift yourself up and stick the ball underneath. Now for a lot of people this is enough pressure just as is, and you can kind of move yourself around using your feet and your hands to reposition that ball to find any tight spots. Now, if you need to or you want to, you can roll yourself around on that ball to really access those tight spots and release in through the glute there. My favorite personally is to put some of the glute muscles on stretch. So we know a glute stretch looks a bit like this. So that's literally what you're gonna do. You're gonna layer the two up. You're gonna have the ball underneath here and you're gonna cross your leg up, and you can now tilt down so the knee side comes down to roll in through these muscles. Now this allows you better access to muscles called your piriformis and other muscles that are deep underneath here, that when you rotate the knee down, become a little bit easier to access with the ball. So this is my go-to. Now this spiky ball here is particularly painful. If I was a bit too uncomfortable with this and wanted to sort of soften it up, you can add a towel over the top if that's a little bit too aggressive of a stretch for you. So that is how you do your glute. Now you're looking to do something between sort of 20 to 30 seconds and a couple of minutes to get a really good release through those muscles. Obviously, repeat both sides. And second stretch and release we're going to do is for hip flexors. That is in the front of the hip. Now your hip flexors are in through this way here. And if you are sitting at a desk all day, they get a bit tight, causing you to have sort of restricted movement here, or pull your tail into sort of what we call an anterior pelvic tilt, really tight and compressed through the front here. To release this one, I'm going to do the other side now. Place the ball on the ground, and then you're literally looking to lower your body onto the ball. Now what I've done here is I've lifted my opposite knee up so that I'm rolled down onto this leg here. If you're flat like this, it's really sort of a nothing stretch, a nothing release. So what we're going to do is make sure we've got good targeted release onto this hip, and then I'm going to use my left leg, so you can't quite see it here, to orientate myself on the ball and allow myself to move. So if I switch legs and show you what I'm doing, the ball comes under that sort of that back hip now, and I've got my leg bent up, and I'm using this leg here and this foot as my anchor points to allow me to move my whole body. Now I can also push down through this knee and rotate my trunk away and allow myself to get more on the outside of this hip, or bring myself both elbows down to get in further towards the front. Now this is an amazing release for any desk users, anyone that's sort of got tightness through the hips from sort of any leg press or squat activities at the gym, or anyone that's spent a little bit more time sitting over the past few weeks, which is pretty much all of us. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. Enjoy your releases.